Have you ever felt like your personal energy is just running on empty? Like you desperately need a reboot? Well, today we're going to look at your life, your energy, and all your relationships through a totally different lens. We're going to treat it like a high-performance computer system. So let me ask you this. Are you feeling burned out, socially drained, maybe a little overwhelmed? What if that's not some personal failing? What if it's just a system performance issue? I mean, think about it. Maybe you've got too many apps open at once, or some old legacy bugs are slowing you down, or maybe your firewall just isn't cutting it anymore. It's time for a diagnostic.
All right, let's get into it. Here's our system briefing to get you ready for your next big update. First, we'll look at your core infrastructure. Then, we'll tackle managing user access, turn on your security protocols, and finally, lock in your new admin directive.
Okay, first things first. Every single stable system needs a solid foundation, right? This is your core. It's the central hub that everything else runs on, and you absolutely have to protect it.
The framework we're exploring today calls this core the Four of Wands. Now, just think of that as your own personal fortified sanctuary. It's that feeling, that state you're in, when your personal values and your sense of stability are all successfully deployed and working in perfect harmony.
So here's a really cool way to reframe this. Think of that core as your personal home server. This is the central unit where your energy is stored, where it's kept safe, and where all your life's structures are built from a solid, secure, and unshakable base. So now that your home server is secure and humming along nicely, what's the next step? Well, it's all about managing who gets to connect to it. We're talking user access. I want you to think of any period of personal growth, a new job, a new relationship, any big life change, as a major system upgrade. You are literally moving to the next version of you, and we're going to call that your next season. And just like any big software update, you've got to run a compatibility check on everything that's currently connected to your system. So the key here is that keeping your system healthy requires a really clear three-step audit. Step 1, review every single active connection in your life. Step 2, you've got to identify the legacy bugs. Those relationships that are draining your resources and are just not compatible with where you're headed. And step 3, be extremely selective about who you give admin privileges to. Not everyone gets root access. And this perfectly breaks down the two types of connections you're going to find. On one side, you have your high-performance nodes. These are the people who support you, who enhance your system. And on the other side, you've got the incompatible nodes, the legacy bugs, the ones causing system errors and just draining your battery for no good reason. And here comes the tough part, but it is so necessary. If you want your system to scale up, to grow, to perform at its absolute peak, you have to make the call to cut off those incompatible nodes. Look, it's not personal. It's just a matter of system optimization. So you've secured your core, you've audited all your connections. Now, let's talk about defense. Every great system has an automated security protocol. And guess what? You already have one. You just might be thinking about it all wrong.
Most of us see rejection as this painful, personal failure, right? But what if it isn't? What if in our system reality, rejection is simply your divine spam filter doing its job? It's an automated security feature that recognizes and blocks toxic low-resonance connections before they can ever do any harm.
I want you to let that sink in for a second. Rejection is not a system failure. It is a successful block by the security software. It means your defenses are working perfectly. Your system identified a threat and neutralized it. That is a huge win. So think of this firewall as constantly running in the background for you, automatically moving those low-quality connections straight to the trash folder. It is the process that ensures only verified high-quality data, the right people, the right opportunities, are allowed to interact with your home server. And that brings us to the final and, honestly, the most important part of this whole thing, your role. It is time for you to step up, to embrace your power, and take control as the administrator of your own system. So here it is, your official directive as system admin. Number 1, your primary mission is to protect the integrity of your core infrastructure at all costs. 2, embrace your role as the admin. You're in charge. 3, stop mourning with the spam filter correctly blocked. And finally, keep your focus laser sharp on the optimized, high-speed performance of your upcoming next season. So the keyboard is in your hands now. You have full administrative access. My question to you is this. What is the very first protocol you're going to optimize? Which setting are you going to tweak? Which connection are you going to audit to make damn sure your next season is your best performing, most powerful version yet?